welcome to the Monday episode of the Chad Prather Show. Good to be with y'all once again. Once again, we're going to bring you the news and the headlines. I was kind of out of it this weekend, quite honestly. Although there were a lot of big stories that came out. Some pretty wild things were done. Some pretty crazy things were said, and we're going to get into that today. I want to remind you, if you're watching this on Facebook, why don't you take a little trip over to YouTube and subscribe on my page, Chad Prather. Now, don't go to one of those phony pages. They're out there. Go to the one that has my face at the top, okay? And subscribe to that one. If you want to watch it, you can watch it there, or you can go to wherever podcasts are offered and hit subscribe, download, or stream. It doesn't matter to us as long as you're listening. And if you get a chance, rate and review. Those things help us because we're capitalists and we like for advertisers to give us money. So we are currently ranked 115 in our category on Apple Podcast. We were in the top 100 for quite a while. Hot news, Natalie. We were in the top 100, but we fell off. You know why? Because everybody's watching it on Facebook. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching these videos on Facebook. And we just keep putting the full thing out there. We're going to go back here pretty soon. We're going to do the 3 5-minute clips. I just want you listening. That's all. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm very socialist when it comes to people listening to the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Chadwick Elliot.
I am. Yeah, had to go there.
Did you say Chadwick?
I'm concerned that your husband continues to let you out of the house with less and less clothing on.
You
are getting very strappy for this show, Natalie.
Listen, I've had strapless, so I have 2 little strings on this side and 2 little strings on this side.
Party foul. She likes showing off her shoulders. Have you noticed this?
There's no one complaining. Not one single complaint.
Well, Chadwick is.
No, I don't. I think he's making a statement. He's not complaining.
But I'm always getting, and my lovely wife Jade's over there in the peanut gallery with Party Foul Steve, and she can tell you, we get a lot of people who say, does your wife ever get jealous of you talking to all these hot girls in the studio? And I'm like, yeah, actually she does. But that's marriage. Hi, baby. How are you doing over there?
She's wearing some strap.
Oh, yeah, that's real strap.
She's showing off your arms, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
These are not cheerleader arms.
Look at there. Look at there. How about that?
You know it.
Now we're playing strip poker. Boom.
Party time, Mom.
Party time, Mom.
That is not pretty.
Oh, well. These socks are clean, though. I can tell you that. Jade, you were complaining online this weekend about having to pick up my underwear.
Truth.
You don't pick up my underwear.
Constantly.
Never.
He gets it really, really, really close to the hamper.
There's something about that last 3 feet
in the
in
hamper. That includes socks, shirts, underwear, pants.
It's the bending over part I don't like.
Don't bend over.
Get some graspers.
Walk over to it and drop it in.
3-foot graspers. You just grab them and.
We have some.
Hey, Chance the Ginger Rapper is gone. We enjoyed having him in for a few episodes. The puppet master himself, Mark, is back in the studio. Was Vegas good for you, buddy?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. First time out there, so...
Really?
Yeah, first time. It's pretty crazy to see it.
What was your first impression of Vegas?
It is a alternate reality.
It really is.
From everywhere else. It's a strange place to be.
Where'd you stay?
We were at the Luxor, so we're kind of at the south end of the strip, so we had to walk up a little bit.
Do you play or gamble or anything?
I did just a little bit for fun, but not a whole lot, yeah.
You didn't get in your blood? You didn't get hooked? You didn't come home with a debt or a disease?
Nah.
Hookers?
Steve?
No, none of those. If Steve was there,
That's a legitimate question if you go to Vegas.
No, it's really not. If you don't do things that would cause you to...
It's Sin City.
Oh.
I mean, you go to Vegas to sin.
But you know what? That's like other things. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should.
Yeah, Mark may have gone to church on Sunday in Vegas before he came home.
I've actually been to church in Vegas.
That's a wedding chapel. That is not a church. There's a huge difference. If the preacher's dressed like Elvis, Steve, that is not a church service.
Yeah.
So welcome back, Mark. Candice, Queen of the Ecuadorians, is here. And happy to see your smiling face as always. She's put together some very specific news and headlines. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Happy to be back.
Did you do anything fun or you're just boring again?
No, just working over the weekend.
You work a lot.
She does.
That's one thing I can say about Bougie Sean and Metro Jason and Candice, Queen of the Ecuadorians, is whenever I text them at like 3 a.m, they're on it. They're up. They're doing something. They're thinking about me. I am on their mind. I appreciate that about you, Candace. Thank you.
I think that's just an artist mindset that y'all just don't sleep.
I know. Well, that's true. It's true. And I can't see Allison is over here. We don't even have a camera on Allison, but she's here. And we got everybody in here hanging out. Natalie, what was the hottest news story? What stood out in your mind from this weekend? Because there was some crazy stuff that went on.
There was some crazy stuff. I do have a few things. The first,
I'm going to interrupt you. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I've
No.
never seen
I've
Game
never
of Thrones.
seen Game of Thrones.
No, I haven't.
Party Foul, did you watch
Yes,
Game of Thrones?
I saw it.
The brand new 8th season,
new.
that's all anybody was talking about. Jade, I know you didn't see it.
Right. I live with you.
We watched the Clint Eastwood movie. And you guys, did you watch it? Seriously. So we're like, wow.
The Mule?
No, it was an
Oh.
old one.
Oh, okay.
Lightfoot and Thunderbolt. Jeff Bridges and Clint Eastwood. That's an old one.
Okay.
Goes way back.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
That your
So-
movie was not at the top of my list for news, but I
No.
appreciate it.
Well, Game of Thrones. That was a big news story, but
It
I don't care
was.
about it, so we're not going to talk about
It
it.
was.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to start with Tiger Woods.
How about Tiger
No.
Woods?
Yes.
That was more Tiger Woods stuff than we even needed to watch. I mean, it was more than Game of Thrones on all the social media and
I'm
stuff.
proud
should
of
be.
Tiger for doing what Tiger did. If you didn't cry, you're not human. It's Augusta,
That's because of
my
Trump. We
hometown.
live in Trump's
I
era.
understand he got arrested under Obama's economy. He's a champion again under Trump's economy. So even Trump
So
is
Trump
making Tiger
gets credit
Woods,
for that.
He's making Tiger Woods great again.
There is no doubt that was an epic comeback.
Mhm.
He did fall from grace. But we are all human. So just to see him come back on top, and that moment where he hugged his son, who's 10 now, and just see him get emotional and remember about his father when he had that famous hug with his father. This is a guy who I think it's safe to say hit rock bottom.
Oh, he hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had a lot of girls with him. lot.
Cushion
Is
That
Steve
fall.
it's
been
the
drinking already
girls
this
that
morning?
got him to rock bottom.
And no,
Yes.
no, he
You have to keep
he
hands,
grabbed
feet,
them and he
all
took them to rock
objects
bottom with him.
yourself.
So I'm not going
No.
down.
Let's make
And I don't feel bad for those girls. They knew 100% what they were doing.
Let's make no mistake. This was all on him.
It was
This
all
is
on
his
him.
responsibility.
But you got to feel sorry for his wife, his
Well-
ex-wife. And the kids.
No question.
Divorce and that kind of broken home is obviously a tragic thing. It
Mhm.
is. Tiger's admitted that he had a lot of problems, a lot of issues. I got a lot of problems and a lot of issues.
Mm-hmm.
Jade's never busted out the back of my windshield with a golf club with
No, she
pitching
was
weights.
mad.
but
The
she
day is
did-
still young.
She did throat punch me one time at 85 miles an hour, and that, my friends, is a fact.
Let's see a replay.
She
right.
throat chopped me at 85 miles an hour. Anyway,
Roll the clip.
That's right.
see if you can find that footage, Candice.
The people that
So-
know me would be not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tiger Woods won $11 million purse. Good for him. Augusta, Georgia,
Right,
my
got
hometown.
a green jacket.
There you go. Got another green
Yeah.
jacket. So that was his first win since 2005.
Yeah, first
First Masters win
first
since 2005.
Masters win. Yeah.
2008
good.
was his last major.
Yes. Did you see the Twitter video that Trump posted of Ilhan Omar and
I did.
combining that with the 9/11?
A lot of
Footage.
controversy over that.
Yeah, some people did something, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
It should. She's an idiot.
We'll get right to those facts.
Can we go
Steve.
back to the class where Steve learns radio etiquette again?
Hey, I
Stop talking for a minute.
no.
We will come to you. Jeez, Lord have mercy. He's either on drugs or drunk.
Well, and Pelosi's now saying she's going to take whatever measures necessary to make sure that Ilhan Omar is safe, because she's now getting what would be called credible death threats from just Trump's video on Twitter.
I have mixed emotions about the thing. How do you feel about it, first of all?
Okay, that's interesting because I have been torn both ways. It is hard when I feel like I know my feelings don't matter, but I feel like this is a woman who talks out of both sides of her mouth.
Talking about Omar.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think when you watch the video, whatever her presentation was on saying that, or when she was talking about Al Qaeda, and kind of
She's
laughing,
giggling about
she's
Al-Qaeda,
giggling
yeah.
about Al Qaeda. I can see how it would rub people the wrong way. But Trump does that every day. He says stuff not about Al Qaeda, but I mean, he says stuff that rubs people wrong, all the time because it just gets him in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, she talks out of both sides of her mouth, but both sides are still Sharia sides. So I have a
Correct.
problem with that. I mean, the woman has some issues, and obviously she's not very... We've said this over and over on this episode. The Constitution of the United States and Sharia law just don't match. They don't
Mhm.
mix up. She's obviously a Sharia supporter. She is from a place where they dumped 5-6 million Somali refugees into Minneapolis, and obviously they got her elected. Those people ran; they were evacuated by American forces into the country. They were saved and rescued, and now she's going to come out and complain about the America that saved her life and made her an elected official. So I have a big issue with that. Now we know Trump's a counterpuncher. Like Trump's he's all in for the shock value of the thing. I personally,
But I haven't seen Trump say or do anything giggle ever about 9/11 or say or about Al Qaeda,
and likewise,
or anything anti-American.
So to say this is you're endangering our lives, because AOC also came out this weekend talking about how things were endangering her life and people were talking about her. That's the 21st century snowflake way of saying that you're picking on me. The criticism is not a threat to your life. Criticizing a public figure or a politician, that's not a threat to your life. Yes, social media has made it so that it's easy for the keyboard warriors to go in there and start saying a lot of things that are unnecessary and inappropriate. But that's the nature of the game. If you're going to get into politics in the 21st century, I would heavily recommend you don't refer to 9/11 as a thing that was done by some people.
Correct.
I'm not a fan of Trump using whoever made that video of showing planes flying into buildings again. I mean, we lived that horror. We were there for that. We saw that. That's still a major.
In what way are you not a
tragedy.
fan of it? Because
I'll use this. So George W. Bush, and look, I'm not a Muslim.
Right.
I'm not an Islamophobe because I'm not scared of Muslims. And that's what Islamophobia means. If I loved Islam, I'd be a Muslim, but I'm not, because I don't agree with Islam. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe Islam is the truth. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't love a person that practices Islam, and I can't support a person that wants to be a peace-loving Islam. And there may be peace-pursuing Muslims, but Islam, and I've said this on record many, many times and got a lot of criticism for it, Islam is not a religion of peace, period. Now, we can break it down from the Sunni Muslims to the Shia Muslims to the Wahhabi sect and cult that was Al-Qaeda and the Taliban and these guys. And I'm telling you, it's not a religion of peace. You can't point to any place, save maybe Indonesia or Malaysia, where they've had any lasting peace, where Islam was the major force factor of political guidance or religion. So I don't love Islam, okay? If I loved Islam or believed in Islam, I'd be a Muslim, but I'm not.
You're about to piss off all of your Muslim fans.
I want to piss them all off. I don't care. Listen, I've been called everything from hateful to whatever. I'm just saying it's not a religion of peace.
Isn't that why you say the coexist bumper sticker does not make sense, because one of the religions wants to kill the rest?
Well, they're all against each other. You can't put a Star of David next to a crescent moon and say we're going to coexist. And not only that, you got the sex symbol which nullifies about 9,000 other genders. So I mean, it's stupid. But anyway, back to the point. George W. Bush, who George W. Bush went to the mosques after 9/11 in an effort to try to peacefully unite Muslims in the midst of those factions after 9/11. Okay. At least that's an effort towards something. He also lit their asses up with a lot of missiles and a lot of strong power. That being said, to come out there and just exacerbate what was being said, yes, we know what 9/11 was. So when you replay 3,000 people getting killed, losing their lives through those tragedies, it kind of it kind of cringes a little bit.
So that part didn't
bother you.
It turns into propaganda, though.
Well, for me, only because of the passion. Like, I still, on 9/11, I actually go back and I watch those videos because I don't want to forget. Not that I necessarily want to go back to that raw feeling, because I was so angry. Everybody in this room knows exactly where they were when it happened, and I don't want it to fade away in my mind. So when she said some people did something, I can see why so many people
it pissed me off.
Would be angry, yeah. and I can see why some. Did he make that video, or he just retweeted it?
I don't think Donald Trump is sitting on the toilet at 3 a.m. in the spray tan making a video on iMovie.
But he retweeted it,
yeah.
and so that's just not something that for those families who did personally lose somebody, and we're all touched by it still to this day. That part didn't anger me. I didn't see it much as propaganda, but I could totally see Steve's point as well.
What did Steve say? What point did he
I don't know.
make? You don't even know.
I didn't see the video, period, so I'm not.
You didn't see the Twitter video?
No.
Well, it was just
it's
clips of her
dramatic.
saying what she was saying in the speech.
It's actually some people. It was some people did something, and then they would cut to B-roll of
The planes
9/11,
hitting
and
it.
then it would go back, and she says some people did something, and then it would show a different piece of the.
So she's upset about the words she chose to use. She's
No,
upset about
not.
her own
Everybody
No,
else
she's
is. But that's the thing. She has been upset because they're using her own words against her.
Mhm.
And she's saying, well, these are threats.
To
Look, I don't like the woman.
Right.
I mean, go back to Somalia. That's the way I look at it. I'm sort of, you know how blunt I am on all this stuff.
Well, that's why I was torn to my point. People use words against Trump every day. And
I
I can't
don't feel like-
imagine what the Secret Service has to deal with on a daily basis of death threats
Your
to
suit
Donald
is
Trump.
fabulous. that is, so, I mean, I don't feel sorry for the woman. And don't mistake what I'm saying. I don't feel sorry for the woman. I think
Right.
she should get what's coming to her in that regard.
Well, I agreed about the mixed emotions,
Yeah.
So, hey, Pete Buttigieg,
I love a gay man named Butt Judge.
he's running. He officially said he's running for president.
The mayor.
The mayor, yes.
There's
The
312 people running for president now.
I'm running on the Democratic ticket.
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend, Indiana,
He's
the
gonna
mayor.
represent.
Pete Buttigieg. He says he can beat Trump in 2020.
He says change is a coming.
Changes are coming. Well, everybody has said changes are coming.
Well, change has been a happening.
Along with universal health care and free education and basic income, universal income, and some open borders and some gun
Debt relief.
confiscation and debt relief and what else are we going to do?
If he would identify as a woman, he might have a chance.
Well, you never know what he does on a freaky Saturday night in New Orleans.
That's right.
I did it. But hey,
Yeah.
so last time I was in New Orleans, I felt like I was at a Little League spring game. You know, all those people running around in colorful uniforms and balls flying at their faces.
Yeah,
I
it
felt
was
like I was
just
back in
guys.
New Orleans.
There was a lot of guys coming down that street and a lot of balls and a lot of,
Are
other
you still?
things.
Oh, yeah, we had a fun time on Bourbon Street, didn't we, baby?
I mean, I guess you can call it fun. It was
Somebody
scary.
said y'all were there during the Gay Pride Parade. I'm like, well, they have 60 a year.
They're proud, really proud.
I mean, they're super
They
proud.
were really nice. They were also really naked.
They were really naked.
Mhm.
Yeah. But no, everybody has said that they want to give reparations to, all this stuff. And so it's that I've said it again. If you miss it, I'm going to say it really, really quick. Donald Trump is not a far right conservative. He's a moderate. If anything, I think he's just left of center as a Republican. I don't see him as right of center.
Really?
I do not, because most of his decisions have been very moderate decisions or something that Democrats have proposed in the last 20 years. That being said, he's smart in being that way because everything he does, the left has to so characterize him as a right-wing zealot, as a dictator, that they go to the extreme left to try to show him how far right he is. And he's really not that far right in terms of his politics. You see what I'm saying?
I do. It is so left, though, Chad.
They're off the
It's
farm.
things that aren't even making sense.
No.
Right. So Trump is in the common sense category.
I agree.
On the pendulum. Where you're saying
I agree
he's
with Jane.
moderate, he's in the middle. I don't think he's
in
left.
terms of the decisions he's making.
But yeah.
I agree.
Now, our spending is there are things I could complain about.
But
Spending
all
is out of
president's
control
spending
right
is
now.
out of control.
What's that?
All president's spending is out of control.
I mean, at least the last couple. George W.'s spending was out of control. Obama's was definitely out of control.
Mhm.
It's pretty high right now. GDP is good, though. So, I mean, some aspects, we don't have any form of a balanced budget. There's issues that are there. But again, I'm one of those guys, I don't vote according to pocketbook. Everybody looks at the economics of a politician. I vote on moral reasons. I vote for life. I vote for liberty. I vote for people's freedom. Don't touch my stuff. Don't mess with me. Leave me alone.
Vote for
Let
money.
me self-govern. Let babies be born alive and stay alive. It's those kind of things. Because I think as a nation goes and votes according to its pocketbook, I just don't think I think that's a godless way to vote. I just don't think that if you vote according to your pocketbook, all that can go away in a heartbeat. But true morality and things like that matter.
And I think that's probably easier to swallow if you've got something in your pocketbook. But
Well, it is.
people
That's why
with
there's not a lot
nothing,
of-
they're going to look for somebody that can help them make some money.
Yeah. Well, again, money's temporal, life is eternal. So I always vote on that on the basis of that, life and liberty. But you're right. So Buttigieg doesn't have a shot. Okay. So, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, here he's come out against Mike Pence over and over, saying we got a nation full of Mike Pences who are homophobic. And Mike Pence has never done anything. In 2015, he said, I've never met a guy with more character and a greater patriot and all of these things. And then Buttigieg is going to come out and throw him under the bus anyway when Mike Pence has never done anything, who was the governor of Indiana. And he never said anything but glowing praise of Mike Buttigieg, Pete Buttigieg, sorry. And so, Pete.
You're getting your butts out of order.
He just likes saying butt.
He does.
Did you hear that Chicago might, try to become its own state?
I hope so.
Candace, is this true?
Candace, tell
Get on the
him.
microphone, Candace.
So it's a group of Republicans in the state legislature that are trying to pass this bill stating that the morals and the values that Chicago holds differs from the rural parts of Illinois. And so they're going to try to make it number 52. 50?
51.
51.
But
Whoa, it's,
I
You're
think
like
we could.
Obama, who's visited all 57 states.
We could just
Candace
draw some
states.
circles around all these large cities and make new states.
Well, okay. Well, let's lead into something else that happened over the weekend. Was Trump saying, okay, if all these liberals want sanctuary cities and they want open borders and they want these folks seeking, these refugees who are coming in here, we're at capacity. Let's just let them go into those cities, and you can have them. So L.A. can have them, San Francisco can have them, Chicago can have them, which is again because it's not feasible.
Put him on Amtrak.
Just let them ride the train, right?
Let him ride the train.
But that's Trump counterpunching. That's Trump making a point. And you see what happened. I don't know if you saw Cher's tweet.
Yes.
Where she basically, she said, why is Trump trying to mess up my state? We can't take care of our homeless and our veterans. And I'm like,
Yes.
Cher, welcome to the Republican Party, man. This is fantastic. I mean, it's crazy. I tweeted this morning, and I thought it was genius, somewhat crude, but hi, my name is Chad Prather, and that's what I do. I tweeted this picture. I don't know if you can get that, Mark. That's Cher right there in the big red wig. I said, here is a picture of Kathy Griffin giving birth to a Republican. Right there. There it is, right there. Yeah, let's go to Natalie's camera. Go to Natalie's camera. Oh, is it going to be out of focus?
You want me to hold it?
You get the point.
I'll hold it.
Nah, you get the
Okay.
point. Anyway, so, it's fun stuff. So, yeah, I mean, so that's the whole thing. Those kind of things aren't going to happen. Look, I know people in Chicago. They're sick of Chicago. There are people in Chicago who hate everything from the gun restrictions and gun laws. We got friends. We interviewed my friend Maj Toure, who talking about we got to arm the inner cities, not stop taking their guns. They need to arm the inner cities. He makes a valid point there. But you got places like Chicago, which are off the rails in terms of violence, black on black crime, fatherless homes. It's a mess. It is a mess. And if you look at any place, Baltimore, Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles, San Francisco, with its fecal maps and it's doo-doo emojis that tell you where not to go in the city. I mean, this is for real.
It is for real.
Seattle is a nightmare. Portland is a nightmare. All of these places are liberal run. They're Democrat run. And we don't step back and say, something's wrong here. Because you can't just give people stuff and expect to last as an economy. You can't do that. So let them be their own state. They'll be a third world country. You ever been to South Side of Chicago?
I've been in the inner city.
Yeah, well, inner city's got great pizza.
Well,
You gotta go down to the south
so
side.
I went on. It was a mission trip to a church, and we did just some updating for the church and entertaining the kids after they got out of school. And it was when I was in college. That's where we went for a mission trip, and so I got to only experience a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've done those things. I've been on mission trips in the United States. We used to go to Little Haiti every year down in Miami. I mean, it's a third world country down there. It is. So anyway, best of luck.
Well, so talk to me real quick about
I mean, the new mayor of Chicago, she said that.
Absolutely.
She said, "Bring them on. We want them
Saw that.
till they get there." And so it goes back to sheriffs. She's like, "Well, we can't handle that. Why is? I mean, Trump's trying to build a wall. They don't like that. He's trying to do things for border control and immigration and make it an easier process, but a safer process. And they're like, we don't like that. He's racist." And then they says, "Okay, well, we'll just let them all come to your city." He can't do that.
Right.
That's mean to us. Why are you messing up our town? So which is it?
Right. I saw Pelosi said something about it was just demoralizing to the illegal immigrants that are coming over here. How could you even think to, just ship them somewhere? And I'm just confused.
I'd rather them get shipped back to Guatemala and Honduras. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the majority of them are coming from those countries.
Right.
So it's not even Mexico. It's from Central American countries. So anyway, what else you got?
Right.
Quidditch.
So Amazon is always listening.
Duh.
They have admitted to employing thousands of people worldwide who are tasked with listening to private conversations in your home. So the Alexa voice is they can actually listen in on conversations. They can listen in on you taking a shower while you're singing.
Yeah.
So
this says, and also conducting other intimate exchanges.
Ow, ow.
Here's what I do. I go on the world's largest website that we discussed last week, Pornhub.com, 90 million visitors a day. I just go to Pornhub for the articles and the sounds. And what I do is I just crank up the volume real loud and I place it next to Alexa and I just let them listen all day long. And they're like, that Prather household is lit.
Jade's a freak.
Oh,
Wait, who's that voice? That guy's totally speaking in Ebonics. Put it on black.com.
Is that Big Brother? They're only using it.
Well, are you surprised?
No.
Are you surprised?
Absolutely not.
No. I have what do we have? We have the Google thing, and then there's two Alexas they gave us, and we've never hooked them up.
Mm-hmm.
I forget that we even have that stuff. I just unplug it from the wall. Like, I don't need something that'll tell me. What do you do? Order food from it? Listen to music on it? It's just a glorified radio. Are we so lazy that we can't walk over and push play?
You can turn your alarm on your house on and off, right?
I don't know.
But we can do
I
it.
got friends there's
I can do it from my phone.
You can do it from your phone, though.
You don't even have to touch it. Can you do it without just speaking to it? To your phone?
Well, if you can't
Siri.
speak to the Alexa in your home right now and turn your alarm on.
That's true. But if
you got to have your phone.
But if you're at home?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm at home, I can still push a button. I slide a button 2 inches and my alarm's on. And I also open a drawer 3 inches and I can pull out a Beretta 40. And that's the best alarm there is. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Thank you, Amazon. But nonetheless, Jade will inevitably order something from them today.
So?
Absolutely. I'm with her.
I might need something. I was looking at last night. I was trying to find those soft packs of Kleenex, but they're really expensive on Amazon.
I saw the Amazon commercial over the weekend where they're still talking about that drone service, like they'll just fly it to your house and stuff. That is totally target practice for me. Our buddy Mike Rowe was talking about the thing that was flying. The drone was flying near his picture window where it was just hovering right there and it could see. At what point do you just, I just take out a 12 gauge and knock it out of the sky.
Be no different than you shooting an airplane out of the sky as far as the laws go.
Well, it's FAA, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that's stupid.
I just want my packages. You drop those
Chad's
packages,
got one for you.
and I'm going to be waving. Bye, Amazon. Thank you.
Oh, my God. I hate my wife.
You're so sweet. Call me.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I've never been so happy to go to D.C.
So there was a situation that truly tragic this weekend at the Mall of America.
Yeah.
Some rando decided to throw a 5-year-old little boy over the balcony, 3rd floor up, and he's fighting for his life right now. They've arrested the suspect. How scary. The guy's already been arrested twice at the Mall of America.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So the guy's not actually a rando. He's been problematic. And
Some
True.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some guy did something.
Some did something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
like
happens to be.
But that was the Reuters headline that said man arrested after boy falls from balcony at mall.
Mm.
It doesn't say he threw him. It says man. That's the craziness of the news media right there. Is rather they're so politically correct. They don't want to say it was a white child and a black man or a Muslim man or a man who was a problematic repeat offender. This kind of thing. And look, this would have been horrible had it been a white man who threw a black child off. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making it. But see, now had it been that way, it would have been a hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been talking about this thing for months on end. But instead, Reuters says man arrested after child falls. That's like saying man arrested after Abraham Lincoln stopped watching a play. That's like saying man arrested in theater after JFK stops waving in a Dallas motorcade.
Mm-hmm.
That's how stupid that headline is. The man did something. He threw this kid off the thing, and he's been problematic. The Mall of America, first of all, Minneapolis, back to Ilhan Omar's territory.
Mm-hmm.
They consider the Mall of America a no-go zone. That's how bad it's gotten. And it's a cute little kid. I mean, I don't know if you've seen pictures of him or whatever, cute, bright little boy. All you got to do is think about your own child being in that situation. Some monster who just comes along and throws him off a balcony. Ugh.
It's terrifying.
It's scary.
This
is the world. I mean, and this is the thing. Have things like this always happened throughout history? Horrific things have always happened.
Absolutely.
They've always happened. Now we have social media and we got the news thing that's 24/7. I always point back to people who, the guy back in 1929, I think it was, who he lost his Board of Education election. And so he rigged the entire elementary school with dynamite and blew it up, and then blew himself up along with the sheriff and I think the mayor who was coming to arrest him. And he went in his truck and he blew the truck up and killed them too. So, I mean, but see, that was 1929. We don't think about domestic terrorism in 1929. We don't think about acts of atrocity, but those things have always happened. But it's just now people are trying to one up each other. It's gotten crazy how this goes on, So, I mean, again, I had this debate last week with our buddy Andrew Heaton. Y'all got to stay tuned for Highballs with Heaton, where we debated the death penalty. He's opposed to it. I'm for it, which I told him. I said, you just don't have daughters. You don't have children. You've never been married. Trust me, you have a baby and you will become a fan of the death penalty, which his argument is, again, fiscal and economics. His thing is, well, it costs us more money to execute somebody than it is to keep them alive in prison for the rest of their life. And I said, no, it would not really if we just did it the right way. Can I get an amen in Studio 22?
And all God's people said.
Somebody preach. Because all it takes is a 50-cent bullet, baby.
22 bullets are cheap.
Real cheap. And you can use a couple of them.
Yep.
First one ain't got to work.
I bet I know some gun stores who would donate.
Welcome to the Chad Prather Show. We're playing strip poker in here. It's party time, Mom. We're talking executions half naked.
Ow, ow.
No, it's a tragic deal. It really is a tragic deal. You got to watch yourself. You got to watch your back. I don't care where you are. Now, I'm thankful that we live in Texas, even though Texas is starting to trend very blue in a lot of different areas, a lot of different places. We got to be careful. We talked about this on last week's episode with the guys from RW Arms and about this bump stock thing. And a lot of people commented back and said, well, I've never used a bump stock. Bump stocks are pointless. I don't care if they take the bump stocks. Well, you have to care because it's a slippery slope. They start taking one aspect of your Second Amendment rights away. They start touching it. Well, it gets easier to start saying, okay, well, you don't need a binary trigger on your gun. You don't need, this scope. You don't need this laser sight. You don't need this red dot, whatever. It starts to get slippery. But I'm telling people, this is the kind of stuff that's out there. There's a lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of hate. You got to pay attention, especially when you're in a public place. I mean, it's gotten weirder and weirder and weirder. And things are going
That's the same argument that the anti-vaxxers use.
Oh, Jade had to get into the vaccine thing.
I'm glad because we wanted to talk about that, Candace, the measles
Here we go.
outbreak.
People get more tore up over stupid vaccines than anything else going on in America today.
Well,
we
they're not
actually talked about this
stupid,
last
is
week
one.
because we wanted to hold it for
Yeah.
Jade.
All right, let's talk about it.
Tell him.
Come on. Jade loves the hate mail.
Well,
Jade at watchchad.com.
I've made mistakes of going to some of the anti-vaxxer Facebook pages, and it makes me just want to cry. I'm just cannot believe the things that are said. And I know I'll get a lot of hate for this too, but one of their arguments, first of all, I don't really know where the argument where all these healthcare providers are getting paid to give vaccines, because I don't get any extra payment in my paycheck that says this is for all the vaccines you gave this week. So I'm not really sure where that's coming from. But anyways, one of their other arguments is we don't want the government to tell us what to do with our children, just like Chad doesn't want the government to tell him what to do with his guns. And so the problem is with vaccines, the more people that do, well, that's the part that's supposed to work. The problem is when not everybody is participating or most people are participating, the vaccines are not going to work the way they should. That's the hard thing. So it's not the same as guns, but that is their big argument, and it puts everybody in danger. But I mean, what does science know, right? Or history. So what I read a while ago, here in the first 4 months of 2019, we've had more measles cases than just in 4 months than all the last years. Not combined, but almost. So I think it's like 555 cases. And the reason that that's a problem, it seems like a drop in the bucket, and it is, but it's going to spread. It's going to get worse. And the problem with measles, it's not just it's not the flu, which can also be very dangerous. It's not some little sickness. It's not the cold, but some of the lasting effects include encephalitis. And that is very, very bad. And now you're going to have a child that's going to have to be taken care of the rest of their life if they receive that. But also, we don't make vaccines for illnesses that don't kill us. There's a reason we have vaccines for big, big illnesses is because they cause death. So it's just crazy to me. They don't cause autism. But here's my thing. If I had a child that was autistic, I don't want them to be autistic and have measles. I mean, it doesn't make sense, especially when a lot of the people that did not get vaccinated still have autism. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, that's my little rant. It's my rant. I know it was all out of order, not the way I wanted it to go.
No, it sounded perfect.
Yes, I am very passionate about it, and I feel so bad for the kids.
I'm vaccinated. I'm vaccinated.
Y'all better be.
Yep. Candace, don't be bringing Ecuadorian viruses up here and unleashing them on the American populace. You're like an outbreak. You're like a rhesus monkey over there. Oh my gosh. Remember when Patrick Dempsey brought a stupid monkey on the plane? That was Outbreak, wasn't it? That was before he got his nose job and got pretty. Mm-hmm. Then he got
We have moms in here. I'm passionate about it as well. And we have other moms in here that would agree with what Jade is saying. Plus, I think there's because there's a correlation of when autism might be recognized as along with being at the time that you might vaccinate your children, there may just be that's a coincidence.
There is. And if that happens with your child, it's easy for those who don't have a child with autism to be like, it's just a correlation. But if it's your child, that's different.
Sure.
And I do try to keep that in mind. I'm not going to say I understand where they're coming from, but it is a correlation. It's not the cause.
Got it.
And so when we choose not to vaccinate, because most of the people that have measles, they're unvaccinated. They're not vaccinated. And the ones that are getting it, that are vaccinated, it's either because they need a booster or there's an issue, they have an immune system issue, which is all the more reason us that don't have those issues need to be vaccinated. It's very, very important. We're not making, I know that the vaccine people, I get it, they're making a lot of money. But if you ever look into a study or anything that goes into that, it takes a whole lot of money to come up with the vaccine in the first place. At some point, they want to get paid, just like everybody. It's just the way it works.
Well, speaking of diseases that get paid, Hillary Clinton is bringing on some advice. You're so smart, baby. I'm saving her from the hate mail.
I'm going to get it.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming. It's okay. It's never failed to come.
It's people, okay.
Get a life, people, and vaccinate your kids. Hillary Clinton passing on campaign advice. Do you hear what she said? She said, you do have to present what you want to do. What is your vision? What is your hope for our country? How do you see the future? What are you going to propose that will make a difference in the lives of Americans and maintain the values and ideas of America in a very complex world? My vision for America does not include Hillary Clinton. Right. So there's that. But I love this. Propose that will make a difference in the lives of America. Like what? The ACA, Obamacare, you keep your doctor? That kind of vision, that kind of thing? That makes a difference.
What she's saying is quit trying to run on not Trump. And that's what everybody else is doing. They're trying to
look at Steve
run on not
wisdom.
Trump.
He knows what's up. Yeah, you're exactly right, buddy. Somebody give him a cookie.
I need a cookie.
Somebody give Steve a cookie.
We got some almonds.
You're exactly right. Because there is no Democratic platform right now.
No, they're
That's why certain
ahead.
people
Throw 'em
toss
over.
it. Toss him the cookie.
It's a
there
nut.
it is. Bam. There it is.
There it is.
Chocolate covered nuts.
Show me your nuts, Steve.
these nuts.
No,
Hold it up
Hold
to the
it up.
camera.
He's already eating
Don't
it.
think about your belly,
I better
glutton.
eat them.
There it is.
Little skinny dipped.
Skinny dipped.
You eat those and they make you skinnier.
Do you? Do
Nope.
they?
I can't
That is
eat
not
nuts
true.
on the microphone. You know,
You'll
That's
upset
what she
Mark.
said.
we ain't eating nuts on the camera or the microphone.
He eats nuts everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
god.
eat one nut.
We're sitting at the Italian restaurant the other night before the concert, and we're sitting there with some friends, and the waitress, she goes, "Y'all want the meatballs?" And so she's like, "Here, let me show you." She said, "Look over there. She's lowering the balls right now." That's what she
She
said.
said
She was
dropping.
putting them on the. She said she's dropping
the
balls
balls
right now. I was like, "What?" Sounds like my house around puberty.
And then
Crazy.
Chad said, "We're going to need 6 for the table."
If you could drop 6 balls on us, we'd love it.
Do they come in
Back
pairs?
to Pornhub and Alexa.
They only come in even numbers.
You hope they do. You hope they come
That's
in
a
even
goal.
numbers. Yeah. I got a funny story I'm not going to tell. I had a
Don't.
buddy of mine who had polio because vaccines.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Because the vaccines gave him polio
No, because
or
he didn't
lack
get
thereof?
vaccinated.
Oh, well, let's make sure that we know because that's going to come back on us.
He didn't get vaccinated. He had polio. He had polio. We were in college
Marco.
together, and he woke up one morning and he was in excruciating pain because his balls had gotten twisted up in the sack, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that can happen, Steve.
Yes.
Yes.
Now Steve's gonna be thinking about
That's
it.
an emergency.
Right?
It's an emergency.
And so I mean, they swole up like this
removed a
cup
couple
here. I
of
mean, just like
testicles once.
party time, mom. It's just, I mean, this, and they got because he'd been lifting weights the night before and straining real hard, and he got them all tangled.
National emergency.
National emergency. That's a major.
You shut off blood supply
Listen, if
to
you're
your
a man,
testicle.
this is news that matters right
is
here.
news that matters.
This is a headline. Yeah. So get your balls checked,
Somehow
boys.
we started with Hillary Clinton and ended up on balls.
Well, I mean, logical progression to me. Oh my gosh.
That's logic.
That- you queer or something? Party time, mom. Oh my gosh. Man in Florida leads police on a high-speed chase in a Ferrari. Said the car is a Ferrari and it goes fast. That was his statement.
Next. That was lame, Candace. That was lame.
Factual though. It does
Logical.
It does go fast.
I mean, that's news. That's real news. That ain't fake news.
Nope.
That is not
Hey,
fake news.
I've got one that I saw this weekend.
Brace yourselves, people.
No,
Hold
it's
on.
a guy in San Angelo, Texas that went to jail, and he had the most beautiful hair.
Oh, we
Yeah.
the
saw that.
comments on that, you got to go look it up.
Yeah, I commented on it.
Hilarious.
Oh,
Hilarious.
is it like his mugshot and he's just beautiful like
Yeah.
that one dude that
His
is like
hair's
rich now
flowing.
because he had a pretty mugshot?
It
Feeling
had filters.
cute, might get arrested later. IDK.
I did see that.
I spent 2 hours reading comments.
See, we
I
need
know, it was
another
good.
hat.
What was my
Another
comment,
saying.
Allison? What was the one that I said on there? It was oh god, it's a pretty good one. I don't remember now what I said.
So funny.
And
That
that
guy
all
was
started
beautiful.
with the blue bonnets, right?
Huh?
Did that whole thing where everybody's doing that? That started with
police
the blue
officers?
bonnets and the police officers here
All
in
the police
Texas?
officers
Well,
posing in
there's
blue.
been
bonnets.
a meme going around for a while, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Feeling
IDK. Feel cute.
Feeling
Might get
cute.
arrested later.
Might get
IDK.
arrested. I don't know.
So where did that all start? The I feel cute.
That's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
All of a sudden I see it everywhere.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
thought
like,
it was. I thought it was the blue
I
bonnets.
missed something.
The police
Steve, you
officers
started
and the
that.
blue bonnets.
Remember now, Steve gets his news from memes. So,
Yeah.
of all
Well,
things,
that's
you
kind of
should
where I
remember
picked.
that.
That's kind of a meme. That guy's mugshot. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
It
that was pretty funny. But no,
Did you find it?
what'd I say? Come on, you get over there.
She's afraid to read it.
Hey, Tim Apple, why doesn't my phone have prison filters?
Yeah. Prison
Picture,
filters. That's
though.
it. Tim Apple. You remember that's what Donald Trump called Tim Cook, whatever. That's the
From
CEO
Apple,
of Apple. Hey, Tim Apple. Yeah, there were people who had to Google Tim Apple.
That's right.
Look at that guy's face. Let me hold your phone. This guy.
Got
You know
arrested for
what?
drugs.
If everybody crossing the border looked like this guy, bring it on. My favorite one on this, because he looks like Jesus, it said he'll be out by Easter. That's genius.
He did look a little like Jesus.
I know. Well, Jesus, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I love doing this. I got to quit saying we got to get out of here because you dummies get off the thing. Quit watching. Y'all, I can see the numbers. We'll go from 2,000 people down to 800 just like that quick.
Yeah.
But see, if y'all don't stay, you're going to miss the strip show. You're going to miss when we come out, when we bring it out. See, when Natalie starts getting stupid. And
Natalie has stayed smart. You're the one that has less clothes on now.
I know, man. It's hot in here.
I
in Studio
started with
22.
less clothes.
Oh, my goodness. We do have to get out of here. Have a great week. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, our episode with our favorite outdoor huntress, Kendall Jones. We'll talk about hate mail and all the crazy stuff she gets for killing all the animals she's killed. And we'll get more hate mail because of it. And this girl, she's a bad A. I wouldn't mess with her. She's pretty tough, and she's killed every major animal on the planet.
Twice.
Ugly girl, though. Gosh, can't even hardly stand
it
to look
really is
at her.
hard. I said a long time ago that I was going to try to sneak as many pretty girls into Studio 22, and we've done it. We've done it. The most successful show on Blaze TV and Blaze Media Podcast of getting the hot girls in here. So on behalf of Silent Herbert and the head back here, Party Foul Steve, my lovely wife Jade, Hot News Natalie, Puppet Master Mark, and Candice, Queen of the Ecuadorians. Thank you for listening. Go subscribe where podcasts are offered. And go to blazetv.com/humor. Use promo code Chad so you can get Humor Me and all the good stuff going on behind the paywall. We love y'all. God bless you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.